Oh, hello, hello, hello. Who do we have here? Horse, how you doing, man? I guess you could hear me. Okay, tonight, stick control book and syncopation book. We all have the syncopation book, Ted Reed. There's 3 variations. This is the second edition, rather. There's 3 editions. This is the second edition. And we're going to hang out with triplets. And the jazz time. Okay, so let's just wait for a couple more people to come in. There's only 5 right now. And they're hiding out. They're not coming into the chat. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the triplet. What is this? Okay, good for you. I guess there's a really long delay here. So I asked that question maybe 10 seconds ago. Okay, 8th note triplets. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. We played a little bit with the accents last night. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to work the heck out of the left hand. And we're going to work with a triplet vamp. The triplet vamp is going to be just 8th note triplets over and over and over again with the left hand, no accent. Bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4. Left foot, heel and toe. When I go heel and toe, I don't know if you can see this. I don't think so. Let's see if it works. Anyway, I'm counting in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm chicking on the count of 2 and I'm chicking on the count of 4. I'm coming down with the heel to open the cymbal. I'm coming down on 2 to get the chick or the 2. What is this? Hey, Ricardo, it was nice talking to you before. I will continue to talk maybe after the lesson or tomorrow morning sometime. We'll talk about drumming, okay? All right, so now we have heel and toe. We're thinking triplets, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. My left foot, heel, 1, toe, 2, heel, 3, toe, 4. So I'm counting triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Hold on. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and bang. Doing that a bass drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what I try to do with the bass drum, we're not playing any heavy metal or rock tune or fusion or funk or whatever. We're going to feather that bass drum. Now, by feathering it, what I mean is to play it very soft. Part of the hi-hat and the bass drum being one note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So I'm playing fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm feathering it in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now, we're going to play 8th note triplets with the left hand. All right, the bass drum's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. The hi-hat's going to be 2 and 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it slower. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. A little faster. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Faster. Okay. Now we established that. We're going to go to the stick control book first, then to the syncopation book. Page 5, line 1. We're going to swing the line. Now that's, Horst, do you understand what I mean by swinging the line? It's swung as opposed to straight up and down. All right, I'm going to explain it anyway. If I play line 1 the way it's written, it would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so now I swing the line. And I'm thinking of eighth note triplets when I do that. So the first count of each triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4, is the downbeat. Now the ands that you see are going to become the da of the triplet. So if I take the first line, it would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, 1 and 2. And I'm maintaining the sticking on line 5. I go to line 2, and I say, okay, let's swing the line. Instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, now we have 1 and 2. Line 3, instead of 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, we have 1 and 2 and 3. It gives you an open feeling between the downbeats. Line 5, the paradiddle. Instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we're going to have 1 and 2 and 3. So on and so forth. So that's how we're going to interpret the lines now. Now, what I want to do, let's have a little bit of fun. I want to work the heck out of that left hand. I want that left hand to be working. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an ostinato. That ostinato being, or you want to consider it a vamp, the bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4, the hi-hat 2 and 4, and eighth note triplets on top, on the snare drum. Okay, constant. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what am I going to do with the right hand? I'm going to interpret the page like we did before, swung. But this time I'm going to eliminate the L's, the lefts. So if I eliminate the lefts on line 1 and I'm thinking about it swung, I'd have this. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and line 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and So let me play over and over again. Line 1 and line 2 against the eighth note ostinato, eighth note triplet ostinato, okay, or the vamp. Nice and slow. 1 and 2, line 1. Two. Back. Now, that's just line 1 and line 2. We go to line 3. All right? Now, instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we're going to have 1 and 2 and 3. So we have this now. Line 3. That's remaining the same. That's over and over again, an ostinato pattern or an eighth note triplet vamp. Line 4. Here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line 5, just the right hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and against the triplet. right, I'm going to play line 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 over and over again. I don't know how many times I'm going to play line 1 or 2 or 3. I'm just going to make the switch when I do, and you'll hear it. 1. Now, what I'm doing is I'm containing or just keeping it locked in with the one voice on the floor tom-tom. But I don't know what your setups may be. You might have 10 tom-toms. I don't know. I like to play with the setup that I have. Oh, excuse me. And now, what I'm going to do is create different sounds or different feels throughout that pattern. For example, if I went line 1 and just played 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4, 1 and the 2 and the 3, 4, or 1 and the 2 and line 3, 1 and the 2 and the 3. Here we go. I'm just going to mix it up. You'll get the idea. And if you have questions, just throw them at me. Okay, here we go. 1. So on and so forth. We understand that, gentlemen? Okay, 1. Now, what we could do is use the bass drum. One measure with the right hand, and one measure with the bass drum. So we could have this. 1, 2. Oh, my neck. Excuse me. Oh yeah, I just twisted my neck. Okay, neck. Thank you. All right, here we go. 1. I'm going to play one time. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4, or 1 and the 2, any combination I want. 1 and the 2 and the 3, 4. If I went to line 2, it would be 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1, or one measure on top, 1 and the 2 and the 3, 4, 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 3, the 4, 1 and the 2. So in line 3, 1 and the 2 and the 3. Whatever you want to do, all right, as long as you maintain the thought and the interpretation. You're sharing the rights between the right hand and bass drum. So if I did line 1, line 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Line 3. So on and so forth. You get it, guys? Coffee time. We all understand it, no questions. Okay, good. All right, the next movement, we're not going to put no accents with the left hand yet. So I want to do a triplet fill, okay? Now, by the triplet fill-in, that's what I call it, triplet fill-in. I don't use the term fills because I think, fills means to put in something in the empty space. I call it lead-ins. Do we know the difference between lead-ins and fills? because the language of the drumming has really gone crazy. Fills, okay, or lead-ins. All right, so now what I want to do is fill ins. Okay, so if I took the first line, stick control book, and went and played all the rights, say on the snare drum, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and so if I played 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and say I'm going to do the fill in. All right, not fills, fill in. I'm going to fill in the blank. I'm going to do a straight line of eighth note triplets, but I'm going to emphasize the first note, the right. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay, so if I take it up a little bit, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's to fill in. All right, line 2 now. The right hand is falling on the does of the triplet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, line 3. Okay, line 4. Line 5. Why do I keep hitting up there? There you go, line 5. That's two different ways now to do the triplets, or three different ways. What I want to do next is play that between my bass drum and my snare drum. For example, we're with this last lesson, or this last segment, we were interpreting it, the stick control book, like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's substitute that right hand, for the bass drum. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. We do line 2. We have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we substitute the right hand for the bass drum. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Line 3, instead of 1 and 2 and 3, bass drum. 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4 and 1. Line 5, I skipped 4. Let me do 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and line 5. What's wrong with this? All right, line 5 now, with the bass drum and snare drum. 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, that's one way. You could do the whole page like that. Now, what we want to do, the next step, and this would be the last step for the triplets with the stick control book, is play the jazz time. Now, when I play my straight ahead jazz time, it's not an open time. I'm playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and but there's a motion that goes. There's a motion that goes on with that right hand. I want to maintain that one sound. All right, the one sound, the dominant sound here would be the quarter note. So if I played the same sound, quarter notes, on that ride cymbal, I would strike the cymbal from the same point. 1 and 2 and... Now if I want to maintain that and add the 1, 1, 2, the 3, 4, the 1, 2. Now you may want to write this down. If I started off, it would be free stroke, down, a free stroke, down, 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1, 2, free stroke, down, a free stroke, down, a free stroke, down, bang. Now the reason why I'm showing you that is because we're going to take the triplet between the bass drum and the snare drum, like line 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and play the jazz time. Line 1. Now we do line 2, we have 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the. Against the jazz time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So look at that right here, and I'm maintaining free stroke, down, a free stroke, down. Now when I'm playing a tune, I'm not thinking about it, just a ding, dong, dee, da, dee, da. You see the quarter note coming down from one spot? Add a little color to it. Let's go to line number 3. Bass drum and snare drum. 1 and the, 2 and the. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Against the time. There you go, line 3. Line 4. Five. Here you go. All right, I'll slow it down. I'm sorry. 1. Line 5. Now I'll just randomly play some. Keep a nice jazz time, straight ahead. No open time. Line 1. Line 2. Line 3. Line 4. So on and so forth. It's not easy because the next move is going to be alternating triplets. And I gave a hand exercise like this a long time ago, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the substitution thing. I have the substitution, the formulas, R equals, L equals, or the substitutions, so on and so forth. Any questions on this, gentlemen? It's not easy. I remember when I was first learning how to play that, I wasn't using this method. I wasn't using stick control book, nor was I using syncopation book. Okay? What I was using was the modern advanced techniques for the modern drummer by Jim Chapin. Now, that book was very, very successful in the drum community. And, you know, I worked through that book and it was murderous. However, it didn't swing, in my opinion, but it was visual. And that was the graphics. And it showed you the relationship between the jazz time and the triplets, which was great. But the book didn't swing, it was too mechanical. And yeah, I'm giving you exercises that are mechanical right now. They're exercises. What's this? Hey, boonga banga banga. Okay. Do we have any questions on what I've done so far? You want me to go over anything? Horst, Ricardo, whoever else is in here. Any questions? We understand how I'm doing the triplets. Yeah, well, I think it's me. It's not you guys. I mean, I could slow down, but I get overwhelmed and I get, you know, the reason why I do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, everyone is different. Everyone has a different schedule. And, you know, you want to take one part, okay, and work it. Or two parts if you can. Okay, Ricardo. And, you know, the thing is, work on what you want to work on. But do it slow and do it correct. And yeah, you're going to be mechanical at this particular point. We're not doing anything musical. You know, tomorrow night's Friday night. I have to wait till Monday. Monday, I should have all the books done and a price. We're looking between $25 to $30 plus the shipping. So what it becomes now, it's going to be Live Lessons Workbook. Matt Patel's Live Lessons Workbook, Part 1. Okay? You guys are really going to enjoy this. And there's a lot of work in there, 177 pages of being insane. All right, no questions. Everybody understands it. Now, we're not talking, when we're playing a jazz pattern straight ahead, we're not talking an open time. We are being a little bit mechanical. We're not talking about any song structure like A, B, A, or a 12-bar blues. You know, I'm not humming the tune, and I'm not playing an open time. Does everybody here understand the difference between a straight-ahead time and an open time? And I have a sip of my coffee while you guys answer that question. A straight-ahead time or an open time? Do we all understand the difference? I mean, the time is there. When I'm playing the straight ahead time, I'm laying it down. When I'm playing an open time, I'm not laying any particular pattern down. The time is there. I'm laying part of the melody or how I hear it and how I feel it and whatever conversation I'm having with the other musicians. Do we understand that? Let me give you a little example. I'm going to play straight ahead first. When you're playing, say you're backing up a singer like Barbra Streisand or whoever. Dang, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That ride cymbal pattern doesn't change. Open time is this. Dang, doo, 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 dang, dang. You hear the difference, Ricardo? Well, the straight time is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Swung 1, 2. But I'm playing a pattern, cymbal pattern, straight ahead. Open. Dang, da, ba, ding. Listen to that hi-hat. That's my timekeeper. That's what it is. It's open. The straight time, the time is always going to be there because you're interacting with other musicians. Now, you can't have another time going on while they're in another time. You can, but, it has to be discussed beforehand. I could play in 4/4 and think 3 measures of 4, 4 measures of 3, and I still come out to the 1. Can I say what? Say that. Hold on, Joe. Straight time doesn't change. If I'm playing 1, 2, listen to my hi-hat. That's my time. Now I'm going to play the straight ahead time with the right hand. Now that's very stiff, but I'm backing up to say a singer. Now I'm going to open it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, ding. Now, if you notice, the hi-hat had not changed. Okay, the hi-hat was dropping on a 2 and 4. I was playing off the 2 and 4. I wasn't playing off any melody. We know the tune Milestones. Bump, 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 bump. So the time is there. It has to be there. The tune is in time. Now I could subdivide time, but that has to be discussed beforehand. Or if they feel it inside of the tune and you don't lose them or they don't lose you, you got it going on. So you can say that. You understand, Mr. Joseph? Oh, and thank you for your donation. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Shows me you appreciate me somewhat. Okay, any questions on anything that we covered tonight? I do have PDFs on this stuff. I told you before, I think it was last night or a couple nights ago, that one of my computers that I do all my music notation on and all the PDFs crashed. And I did not have an external backup. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 computers here. So what I'm doing is when I'm writing the lessons, I'm emailing myself. So it's on the other computer and I put it in my file. I am going to get an external hard drive if I can figure out how the hell it works. But that's okay. All right, gentlemen, any questions? Well, Ricardo, when I play the open time, yes, it is much more musical because it's open. It's open. I'm not playing straight ahead. When I play straight ahead, there's 2 reasons for that. I'm demonstrating the relationship of my left hand to the right hand. Okay? How to obtain certain sounds from that ride cymbal or maintaining a consistent sound to that ride cymbal. Yes, that's very mechanical, and that's not a problem. That's where you need to be right now. If you want to play open time, as long as you keep that time going, you're thinking melody. A, B, A, if that's the structure. Or 12-bar blues. So on and so forth. Do you understand how my terminologies or what I'm talking about? Okay. Mercy. Books Monday. You guys are going to love it. 177 pages. And I'm fried. Okay. If there's no questions, I'm going to tune off. Okay, next week is going to be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Are you on, Horst, are you on my, I think I'm Horst Manta. Are you on my mailing list? Somebody put a thumbs down already. Ha! Okay, that's good. I appreciate it. I have to practice more. You're on my mailing list, you will get the agenda for next week. Okay, gentlemen, no questions. And thank everybody for those who sent me donations. I appreciate it very, very much. I keep this thing going. All right, well, then email me, Horst. My email is I don't know. I mean, I got 100,000 guys on that mailing list. All right, if I have you, that's cool. If not, email me just in case I don't. Okay, anyway. Yeah, there's 3 thumbs up, 1 thumb down. 4 thumbs up now, 1 thumb down. Ah. Okay. Everybody have a good couple days off, practice, and if anybody, I'm going to have a little discussion with Ricardo tomorrow for a little while in the morning, I guess, on Skype. And just to talk about what's going on, how they feel about the lessons, and so on and so forth. Marcio, you're late. Aingadabanga. I'm about to close up. Email me, Marcia. Por favor. So I could send you some PDFs. Yeah, sometime in the morning. If not, sometime. You'll be online. We'll talk a while. I want to see what you're doing, what kind of music you like. And anybody can feel free to contact me on Skype. Leave me a message first, and if I have time to call you back or something, we could talk. So, good night, Ricardo. Marcio, email me. Horst, if you want my Skype, Joe, if you want my Skype, it's here. Here's my Skype contact. Just get on Skype and I'll add you to my Skype contacts. Okay? And we could talk about drumming. I'm not talking about politics nor religion. Okay, guys, you guys have a good couple days off, practice, and throw me your questions if you can. I'm more than happy to help you. Okay, good night, everybody.